Hey, English 111, Miss Brewer here for week 11 of the course, and I'm just going to go over you guys with about your argument essay, which is what we're going to be working on. Last week you should have submitted, was it last week? Yeah, last week on Sunday night you should have submitted the annotated bibliography, which was just the sources that you were researching and kind of getting together on your argument topic. And now you're going to start actually writing an argument essay. So most students find writing the argument essay is a little easier than writing a literary analysis, mostly because you guys probably aren't planning on being English majors for the most part, and if you're not, then analyzing literature probably isn't your thing. With the argument essay, you guys were able to select from a list, and you were able to choose something that was somewhat interesting to you. So hopefully you will be able to present a factual, research-based argument, okay, that's not rooted in your opinion. Now you can have an opinion on the topic, okay, but it's very important to remember that this paper is not I think, I feel about this topic, because that does not matter, all right? You are presenting an argument about your topic and backing it up with the research that's in the articles that you found from the LRC for your annotated bibliography. So you want to make sure that you have Moodle open, and you're going to follow along with me as I go through some of the information for argument essays, okay? So we're just going to kind of go page by page, okay? I'm looking at the first page, which is the elements of an argument. It's very important that you guys know that you need a very clear, firm, and debatable thesis, all right? So your thesis needs to make a very clear claim. It cannot like say, both sides of the issues have valid points. No, that's not what we're doing. We are creating an argument, okay? So we are, if I'm doing textbooks over, or tablets versus textbooks, okay? And I want to make an argument about that, I'm either going to argue that tablets are better for students of the 21st century, and these are my 3 reasons why, or I'm going to argue that textbooks are more effective in the classroom, and these are my reasons why. I'm not going to say both have pros and cons. That's not the purpose of this essay, okay? So you're picking a side, and you're arguing for that side, okay? You need to provide a bit of background on the topic, so that should be your first paragraph, but it shouldn't be much, and the background information should be coming from your articles, okay? You will need to cite the background information. We will not be using Google to locate the background information. And then when you're providing your support and your evidence for your argument, okay, this is the same thing that we did with literary analysis. You have a thesis, and you have an MLA formatted outline, which proves your points from your thesis, and that's super important, okay? So I'm gonna go back into this week, and we're gonna look at the PowerPoint that I have put together in regard to MLA format and in regard to your argument essay. Super important that you understand this, guys. So this is our final MLA formatted paper for the class, and this is where you're essentially showing me you've learned what you needed to learn in this class, okay, because we do MLA format, okay? So I'm just gonna open up this PowerPoint and walk through it with you. Please don't mess with that. Please don't mess with that, Jude. Sorry, I'm at home. Go outside with your dad. Okay, so I'm going to view slideshow, and we're going to look at this MLA review. It's the same thing we did for our first essay, so it's still MLA format. So your paper should be in Times New Roman 12-point font. The paper should be double spaced. There should be a header at the top of every page in the right, your last name and page number. Please be sure that that is also Times New Roman 12-point font. There should be an MLA heading only on the first page. Your title should be centered in Times New Roman, 12-point font, no bold, no underline, no italics, nothing like that. Please make sure you utilize Purdue OWL if you have any questions, or you can also scroll up to the beginning of our Moodle page and go back through basic MLA format information. Your paper must have in-text citations. Your in-text citations should be MLA format. That means they are parenthetical, okay? They have either the author's last name or the first couple of words of the article title if there is no author, and the page number if there is a page number available. There is no punctuation that goes in between the author's last name and the page number, okay? There's no punctuation. Your period goes at the end of the parentheses because the citation ends your sentence, okay? So it's super important that we make sure that we're formatting our citations correctly. You need to have a works cited page. Your works cited page should have MLA formatted citations. It should be in ABC order, alphabetical format. It should be using a hanging indentation, okay? It's super important. Make sure that when you get your citations, because you're getting them from the Library Resource Center, so they should be correct. Just make sure you choose MLA format, okay? Don't let it, the first thing that comes up is APA format, and that's not what we're using. So make sure that you choose the right format. Okay, so the requirements for your argument essay. You are only using the library database for your sources, okay? We are not using Procon for this particular argument, so make sure that you're only using the library database for your sources. NC Live is what I suggest you use. I've done a whole video about how to go into NC Live, how to look for articles, how to utilize that database. So if you need to go back to that video for your literary analysis paper that you already did, feel free to do so. Make sure that your article is a full text article, because obviously you need to read the whole thing. And make sure that it's not super long. I mean, you've already picked your articles at this point, but you don't want to be reading 30-page articles. It's super important by the end of this semester that you understand the expectations for a formal academic paper. No personal pronouns in the paper. There were tons of personal pronouns in the literary analysis papers that were turned in, and people got docked heavily for that. Okay, so you're not using any personal pronouns. No me, no my, no I, no we, no our, no you, none of that. It's written in third person. You should not use contractions in the paper. This is review. We already went over this in this class. Do not directly address the reader. So we're not asking questions. Do not say, oh, imagine a world where textbooks no longer existed. Don't do that. You're directly addressing me as the reader and telling me to do something. You're telling me to imagine. You are only presenting research in this paper. It is research based on fact, okay, and research. So it's not based on belief, okay, or a religion. You're allowed to have that stuff in your life. You just can't utilize it for an argument paper for the purposes of this course. Please do not end your paper with in conclusion or in summary or anything like that. That's just bad writing. Do not ask questions, make statements in your paper. You need to spell out numbers under 100 in all symbols. So when I grade your paper, and I cannot express this enough to you, the first thing that I do is look for your citations. If you have no in-text citations in your paper, I don't read it. It's a 25 if it fails. I don't even read it because it's plagiarized. If there is no works cited page that you turn in that final draft of your paper, I don't read it because there are no works cited. The paper is plagiarized. So please be sure that you are doing those two things first if you want me to move on and actually read your paper, okay? Make sure you have a clear thesis statement and that you back it up with research from your articles. Make sure that your topic is one of the topics that I've listed and you've chosen from the list. And then please do completely remove yourself from the writing, all right? The major things that I am looking for this time when I read this paper is format, MLA format, an academic formal tone in your writing, okay? And can you provide a thesis statement and back it up with some research, okay? That's what's really important with your argument essay. So there's some helpful links here that you can utilize, the library databases, there's links in Moodle, there's a link here. You have MLA format for Purdue OWL, and you have a little web page from Purdue OWL about writing an argument essay. So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna write an argument essay. I just got out of, there we go. Okay, so I have another link, or page here. It just gives you writing tips. Please keep a brief introduction. Your introductory paragraph should have no citations in it because you are writing it and introducing your topic. So do not cite or quote in your introductory paragraph. Your thesis should be the last two sentences of your introductory paragraph. And then I give you a formula for creating your paragraphs. Every paragraph should have a topic sentence. Consider your topic sentence a mini thesis. It's what that paragraph is about. You must have supporting detail, meaning you're pulling from the articles to back yourself up. I want to see specific, concrete information, meaning I want to see quotations, and you can also summarize. But either way, summarize or quote, you must cite parenthetically in your paper. And then some analysis. Analysis means you're tying that fact that you're providing from your article back to your topic sentence and back to your thesis statement, okay? And then you need a transition sentence, okay? So when you conclude that idea, you sort of introduce your next idea that's coming in the next paragraph. Do not use I statements. I think I've said that enough that we understand how important it is. You have to edit your work. Okay, don't turn in your first draft to me, surely, for your final draft. And I have some checks and balances put into the class to try to ensure that you do. But I will tell you that there were students who submitted their paper to NetTutor for the grade, but they did not utilize that information or revise their paper based on the edits, and it was apparent in the grade that they received on that paper. So I'm asking you to do a peer edit, participate in that, so you're getting another pair of eyes on your paper, and you're seeing how someone else is writing. I'm asking you to utilize NetTutor, and you're going to submit it to me to get some real brief feedback before I grade your final draft. 3 things you should use. I also, in addition, would like to see you utilizing Grammarly so that we can fix some of the grammar issues in these papers. That's 4 edits before a final draft. Very important. Make sure you have your proper in-text citations. Make sure that you are citing everything that you are required to cite. I do ask for you to include an outline with the paper. So I'm not requesting a formal thesis and outline for this paper. I highly suggest that you've already written a thesis and you'll get feedback from me by Wednesday on that. I highly suggest that you create your outline before you write your paper, all right? You've written a thesis, create an outline based on the information you have, and then write your paper. You are required to turn in a thesis with your, an outline with your paper. It does not have to be the formal template that I gave you, okay? It just needs to show me that you did some pre-writing, and that should be at the end of your paper. So after you've written your paper, after your works cited page, go to the next page, and then you will copy whatever outline you created and paste it in there, okay? If you don't have an outline, you will be docked points, so make sure you include that outline, okay? I have some little videos here that can help you. A video on introductory paragraphs, a video on how to organize your essay, super helpful. You have a student example for an argumentative essay, all right? The first one was not for my class, all right? The second one was for my class, all right? So you can see the differences in what I expect. Then you have a video on how to organize your intro paragraph, okay? So lots of resources to utilize, all right? So this week, you are simply writing the rough draft for your argument essay. You will submit your rough draft by Sunday, April 12th at 11:55 p.m. The assignment where it says rough draft, that's what I'm gonna look at, okay? Next week, there will be a peer edit forum for you guys to submit that paper to as well, okay? You also will see that there's a Need a Tutor for you to click and submit your paper there as well. I will be asking you to give the NetTutor feedback just like I did for the last paper, so please submit the rough draft to it on the 12th, okay? Then you know you're gonna get your feedback in time. It's super important that you do that. I had people submitting their papers to NetTutor the day before they were due. You're not gonna get your feedback in time, okay? So the reason I'm asking you to do it now is so that you do get your feedback in time. If you wanna wait until you get feedback from your peer and from me, that's fine. Just know that you need to make sure you're submitting that NetTutor feedback for a completion grade. The completion grade is to help you. It's to help out your grade, okay? You're getting an A in that category to try to help you out. So don't waste that opportunity. So we are working through spring break, and spring break will be a peer revision for you. So you guys will complete a peer edit for spring break, and then you will also, revise your final paper. If you guys have any questions, please utilize my live office hours, which are virtually every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The links are provided in your Moodle class, and all you have to do is copy and paste that link from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can ask me questions real time, and I can help you out. We can share screens. I can read what you've written, give you lots of feedback, all right? If you can't utilize that, you can always email me to ask me any questions and I will get back to you. So it's time to get to writing. Go ahead and start your pre-writing, and best of luck to all of you. I'll check in next week.